Welcome to Manflow Yoga. It's yoga for guys.
Hey guys, Dean from Manflow Yoga. Today I'm going to run you through a session which focuses on shoulder flexibility. So one of the consequences of being hunched over a desk all day is you tend to have hunched shoulders. So today I'm going to do a bunch of exercises which try and open up your shoulders. So increased flexibility in your shoulders is going to give you a better posture. It's going to make you look a little taller. Even if you don't have mass in your shoulders really, if you have a good posture, it's going to make you look like you have mass. And for those of you who do have mass in your shoulders, it's going to help bring that out a lot. So aesthetically, this is going to really help a lot. So I'm going to run through a series of 8 exercises, yoga poses, and then I'm going to do two other stretches that are yoga inspired but aren't really yoga, but you can use them in the gym or whenever you want to work on your shoulder flexibility. So yeah, let's get into it. So first off, we've done a lot of cat-cow in the past. So that's when you're on your knees, arching, and then bringing your back in. So instead of doing that today, we're going to do a full body cat-cow. And what I mean by that is using your whole body from standing up. So you're going to go as arched as possible down like this, and then you're going to come back up and like really arch as much as possible. So get your chest open, get your shoulders open as much as possible here, and then fold in like this. So again, this is just a cat-cow, but it's a little modified, hopefully meant to get a little more intense in your cat-cow here. Opening up and then bring it back in. It looks ridiculous, I know, but it's a really good way to warm up your spine. Today we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with your spine. Inevitably, your shoulders are pretty close to your back, so it's going to feel, you're going to feel it in your back a lot too. Let's do one more of these. Open, like you're stretching kind of. And you're bringing your, the same thing as you do in chair pose, you're trying to bring your butt up and back, and then trying to bring your body up and open your shoulders as much as possible, and then back down. Okay, so now we're going to go into chair pose. One thing I want to say about shoulder flexibility before I go into this, it's not a passive stretch. This is a very active stretch, similar to weightlifting or trying to build mass, trying to get stronger. This is a gradual process. It's not something that you can just do once and you're gonna go home and wake up the next day and say, oh my gosh, my shoulders, they're so flexible now. It's something that you have to keep at, and especially when you're in the stretch, when you're doing these poses, you have to strive to make progression, okay? So let's do chair pose now. So bring your knees together. We're gonna concentrate on your back in this position, so raise your arms up, just like this, and to work on your shoulder flexibility, you can actually do a couple things here. You can turn your hands in, so your pinkies are close to each other, and then you want to sit up as straight as possible. Imagine that you're sitting, that's a plane. Wait for that. Okay, so back into chair pose. Imagine that you're sitting and that your back is against a wall, and you're trying to make your back even with that wall, so right against that wall. Then reach your arms up, twist your arms, twist your hands so that your pinkies are facing each other, and then continue to try and open your back up. Continue to try and make it against the wall that you're facing. I'm sorry, against the wall that you're against. And then reach up and back. So that's really going to help open up. One thing we're going to do in the day, I'm going to continually stress this. You're going to need to reach up and back. That's really going to help open your shoulders. You have to actively think and actively act on it. Let's resolve that. Second pose we're going to do is, we're looking at the list, so Cobra. So you guys all know Cobra. So Cobra is, again, you've seen the videos before. Cobra, it's mostly all on your legs. You're not using your upper body really. You're not pushing your body up using your hands. It's not a push-up. But one of the things that we do in Cobra, we want to try and open up our shoulders. We try and open up our chest as much as possible to the front wall toward where we're facing. So we're going to do that again now. So you can either flow into this if you want. So do a vinyasa. And then if you want, the up dog and the down dog. Or you can just go into it. This is what I'm going to do. Flip your toes so that your tops of your feet are pressing into the ground. flex your legs so that your quads are engaged, your calves are engaged. Keep your hands here, and then try and bring your chest out and up. Squeeze your back together, and then bring your shoulders up. So you're trying to make this open to the front as much as possible. Keep your legs engaged here. And then you're bringing your elbows, trying to bring your elbows together. But again, your arms aren't really helping here. You're just here along for the ride. It's all your leg power, and you're trying to squeeze your elbows together to help open up your back, open up your shoulders. That's the third pose. Fourth pose, we're gonna go into turbo dog. The turbo dog is just a variation of down dog. So you've got down dog, obviously, just like this. You know, trying to make an L with your body, bringing your hips up, head being framed by your biceps. So turbo dog, or dolphin pose, you're just gonna put your forearms down like this, and this is gonna force you to really work on your back, to work on your shoulder flexibility here. So go into a down dog just like you would with your legs, and then rest your forearms in front of you. Start walking your feet up, close to your hands, and then reach your hips up. And then you should feel a really nice opening in your back that you don't get when you're in down dog. So strive to have a nice straight back here. Strive to bring your hips up in the air. And continue to press your heels into the ground here. Work on your hamstring and calf flexibility. But for the sake of the day, for the sake of today, I'm suggesting you just concentrate on your shoulders, making a straight back, bringing your hips up. Okay. Third pose. I'm sorry, that was fourth pose. Fifth pose. This is a modified crescent warrior. So this is something I picked up in a class I attended actually a couple months ago, and I really liked it. So we're just gonna go into crescent warrior, just like this. Knee over ankle, bring your toes off the ground. Back leg is strong, up. So again, when I say back leg strong and up, I mean it's not weak here, it's strong, it's engaged. And then you're just going to, so again, core engages, just like we always do in crescent warrior. Hands come up like this. And now from here, you're also going to reach your hands up as high as you can, and then reach up and back. This is gonna help open your shoulders up. It's gonna, just a variation of crescent warrior, but a really powerful one, a really good one for your shoulders. And again, I'm going to stress reaching up and reaching back. So as I'm reaching up, I'm reaching back too. I'm not just leaning back, I'm reaching up and I'm reaching back. And I'm keeping a strong leg, strong back leg. My front leg is still strong. My knee is over my ankle. I'm reaching up and back. Okay. Let's do opposite side, same thing. Knees over your ankle. Core engages. Reach hands up. Now reach your hands as high as you can. Look back. Oh, that's the sun right there. Whoa. Reach up and back. And then start to feel it in your shoulders and your back a little bit. A little deeper stretch in your hip flexors. And then come back. So modified crescent warrior, that's the fifth one. Sixth one is eagle. So eagle, I'm not sure if I've done this with you or not. Eagle is a very tough pose. It involves a lot of concentration. You don't really hold it for that long. It's kind of similar to Warrior 3 in that we try to keep it for, it's more about having good form than it is about holding it for a long time. So for eagle, you're gonna start this. Sorry. Start like this. Reach your right arm under your left arm. Wrap around and grab your fingers like this. If you can't grab your fingers, press hand like this. If you can't do that, press your palms. There's another variation. And if you can't do either of those, just try and get your hands as close together as possible. Actually, the main thing here is that your elbows are up and they're trying to bring themselves forward. So this interlocking of your fingers helps you to bring your elbows forward and up, which is going to really open up this area here, your shoulders. This is probably the best pose for your shoulders, for your shoulder flexibility, so pay attention here. So one more time. Right arm comes under your left arm. interlace your fingers, reach up. Sorry, you can't really see me here. Reach up. Bring your legs down like you're going in chair pose, and then bring your right leg over your left leg and try to wrap it around. And then straighten your back like your back was against a wall, and you're trying to fit your back against the wall so that there's no space of your back that isn't touching the wall. So again, you're reaching up, and then reach your elbows up and out. And this is really going to start to open your shoulders up. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out. And now we're just going to switch to the other side. So left arm comes onto your right arm now. Wrap your fingers around, interlace your fingers. Come into squat like you're doing chair pose, and then bring your left leg over. Wrap it around like 2 ropes twisting together. And then you're going to reach, sorry, not reach. You're going to try and make your back as straight as possible. And you're going to lift, excuse me, you're going to lift your arms up and out. And this is going to engage your shoulders. This is going to really work on your shoulder flexibility. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Come back to middle. A couple more. We've got bow pose. This is a fun one. All right, so this is taken from the Bikram series. You're gonna come to your chest, all the way onto the ground. Lay down flat on the ground. Bend your legs, so bring your heels as close to your butt as possible. Wrap around, grab the outsides of your ankle, and you're going to push your feet into your arms, and you're going to try and balance on really just on your pubic bone area right here. And then as you push into your hands, you're going to come off the ground, and then from there you're going to try and open up your chest as much as possible, and that's going to get the shoulder flexibility that we're looking for here. This is a very intense pose. I'll do my best to talk while I'm in it. So take a deep breath, and then as you exhale, go into the pose. So your arms are fully locked out here. I'm opening up my chest as much as possible. I'm gonna lean forward a little bit. Try and keep your knees close together, and then push your feet as hard as you can into your hands, and then try and come up a little higher, and then release when you've had enough of that. So that's bow pose. It's really good workout, regardless if you're looking for shoulder flexibility or not. It's a really good exercise. And the last one I want to go through is camel pose. So camel, I just saw a great picture of this the other day. When you're in a desk, you're hunched over your desk, just like this. Shoulders like this, not very good posture. We're going to do the exact opposite of that. The idea of camel is to get your back as arched as possible from while you're on your knees. So it's not a full body exercise, but the focus of this is entirely on your spine, on bringing your spine the opposite direction, which it usually finds itself in during the week, during the work week. So for here, so you're going to bring your hands to your back like this, reach up, look up, and then you're just going to bend back. And you're reaching up and back, not just bending over. And then when you think you've reached the point, grab your heels and really open up your chest here. Try and bring your chest up as high as possible. Make sure your back, your lumbar, your lower spine isn't crunching. Make sure it's still lengthened. And then just come out the same way you came in. And then from here, since we've been working on your spine a lot, I would go into a chair pose. I'm not chair pose, I'm sorry. I'd go into child pose here. So bring your feet together at the back so that your big toes are touching. Walk your hands out. Press your hands into the grass, or sorry, into the ground, so that your butt goes closer to the space between your heels. And then just relax there. Let your lower back ease up a little bit. Let it relax. Okay. So those were the 8 poses I wanted to go to, the full body poses. Other poses I'm going to go to today, not poses, I'm sorry, but stretches. I've got a variation of eagle pose. So instead of wrapping your arms around like this, wrap your arms over your head like this. Keep your hands so that you're going to look like this. So you're just reversing your hands. And just reach up, press your hands into one another like that. And then trying to get, again, chest open as much as possible. 3 things you want to remember: getting your chest as open as possible, reaching up, extending as much as possible, and extending back. So chest open, up, and back. So the exact opposite of hunching. So the first one, like I said, like this, just interlacing your hand, not interlacing your fingers, your hands though, reaching up, opening your chest, pressing into your hands, and then of course switching. And then second one is just eagle arms. So the problem with eagle is, you know, it's a great exercise for shoulder flexibility, but when you're trying to balance on one leg and trying to wrap your leg around and keep a straight back and balance on the one leg, it's a little hard for you to concentrate on your shoulders. So try eagle without the legs. Just do eagle on top, so eagle arms. So wrap your right arm under your left arm. Try and squeeze your wrist. Try and squeeze your fingers together. If you can't do this without your wrist in a comfortable position, you can also just press your fingers into your palms, or you can press backs of your hands against one another. The important thing here is that you're reaching up in your elbows, and then trying to reach out. That's what's really important here. That's what's going to get you the shoulder flexibility. So again, you've got, I'll just go through those all one more time. You've got chair pose, eagle. You've got the turbo dog, which is just a modified down dog. Instead of being on your arms entirely, put your forearms right here like this, pressing back, and then walk your hands up. You're gonna feel a really nice tension right here. It's really gonna help open up your, shoulders. You've also got the modified crescent warrior. So again, just from a crescent warrior here, you're going to reach up and back like that. And then you've got bow pose. That's the one on the ground. Press both feet into your hands, push, and then try and get your shoulders open as much as possible. Other than that, you've got the cat-cow. And like I said before, you can do the cat-cow just from all fours, so the bending and the arching like that, slowly though. But you can also do the full body, which I really like to do, which I've never really seen done in a yoga studio before, but I think it's really beneficial. So that's bending all the way over, so really making your spine as curved as possible here, and then coming back up, and then bringing your spine in the complete opposite direction as much as possible. But the advantage of doing this when you're standing, as opposed to when you're on all fours, you can utilize your whole body to try and get as much extension as possible, to get as much movement as possible. Other pose, you've got the camel pose, which is from your knees here. Grab your heels. Sorry. Make sure you hands on your hips, reach back, and then when you think you've gotten to the point, you can reach back and grab your heels and lean back. You actually don't need to grab your heels here. If you can't grab your heels without really feeling, if you're feeling a lot of pain in your lower back when you're doing camel, don't go to that extent. You really want to concentrate on getting your body, so not just bending your body back, but bending your back, getting it up and extending, and then reaching back. So not just crunching your back. That's going to be really bad. It's going to have, your spine, the bones in your spine, they're going to be crunched together when you do that. So you want to make sure that you're extending and reaching back. And then you've got Cobra. Cobra. Alright, so that's what I have for you today for shoulder flexibility. I hope you learned something. I hope you can incorporate these exercises into your normal yoga practice, or into your weight room practice, into your CrossFit practice, your running practice, whatever you want to do. Check out my website, manfulyoga.com. You also have my Facebook page at facebook.com/manfulyoga. I'm also on Twitter at manfulyoga. Go figure. I'm actually started a thing there where I give out daily yoga tips. So for example, like when you're in Warrior 3, make sure that you slightly bend your knee, or when you're in Cobra, make sure that you're not using your arms. Just little tips like that, less than 140 characters, something that you can try and incorporate into yoga practice, something that you should remember when you're doing yoga. Thanks for watching today, and namaste.